and welcome to Gabe's Games. I just wanted to show you guys very quickly how to arm your forces in Manor Lords. Now, there are a lot of really interesting details in Manor Lords, and if you didn't know about them, it would be tricky to figure out how to play this game, so I just thought I'd make a video on it. First things first, you can see over here, Army. This shows your army, whatever kind of units you want to build. And to build the units that you want, you just go click, and then you go and choose any of those. And if you want to hire mercenaries, you go and you hire mercenaries over here. And you're going to need an army because you're going to be raided a fair amount in this game. Here is the thing though. When you start off, you're only going to have a certain number of supplies. You're going to maybe have spears and shields. And once those soldiers die, you have absolutely nothing left. So, let's have a look at the options over here. To start off with, I decided that I wanted to arm spear militia, militia footmen, bowmen, and crossbow militia. Now, let's go and have a look at the buildings that I need for that. This is a level 2 Burgish plot. This is how I'm able to do this to start off with. Not all of my troops are armed, but I'm just explaining the concept of arming the troops. Now, Armorer's Workshop is here, and every single unit in my would-be army needs helmets and chainmail. So, these guys all need helmets and chainmail, and the Armorer's Workshop is going to be able to supply that. So in order to do that, you just basically need to make sure that your Burgish plot is turned into a level 2 Burgish plot when you are able to do so, and then you go and create an Armorer's Workshop. And then you can actually start to have the building which enables you to build the armor for your troops. Here's the thing though, the Armorer needs, first and foremost, iron ore. And once he has iron ore, he needs a bloomery to turn it into something that he can use, and I'd say a smithy is also helpful for that as well. So you need to build a bloomery. Just go into construction, go into industry, and build a bloomery wherever you are able to, probably close to the building that you have, which is your armory. And then the mining pit will take the iron ore to the bloomery / smithy. The smithy and the bloomery will melt it into something that the armorer can use, and the armorer turns that into your helmets and your armor that can be used later. For example, that's how I've actually got the steel helmets for the 3 spears that I have over here. It's going to be a whole bunch more very soon. Now, that's the start of arming your troops. Next thing you really need to think about, as well as that, is weapons. Now, this army has quite a few, or this would-be army, it's not an army yet, this would-be army has quite a few different options. Over here we have spears, over here we have swords, and we also have shields for everybody, and there are different kinds of shields and different things. And over here we have bowmen, and over here we have crossbowmen. Now, to get them all to have the weapons that they need, I'm going to explain this very quickly. Bowyer's Workshop, you're going to turn one of the Burgish plots into a Bowyer's Workshop. Obviously just go Burgish plot level 2. Once you got all of the requirements that you need, click on that, and you can turn it into a Bowyer's Workshop or something else that you require. For myself right now, I'm going to have a look at my army here. Realistically, I need more melee troops. I have enough shields, so what I want to do is turn this Burgish plot into a blacksmith's workshop. Boom. Blacksmith's workshop done over there, and then obviously put that on very high and highest. And over here, my Burgish plot is level 2. I also recognize that I don't have enough armor for all of my troops. I have enough bows, but not enough armor, so I'm going to go and build an armorer's workshop over here. And lastly, I don't have enough wealth to do anything else, but the blacksmith is going to provide the weapons, the armorer's workshop is going to provide the chainmail and the helmets, and the tailor's workshop is going to provide the gambesons that your units all need. So you need an armorer's workshop, at least a joiner's workshop for shields as well, and that's another one, but it's the same premise as everything else. Just click once your baggage plot is level 2. Joiner's workshop creates the shields that you need for your melee troops, and the boy's workshop creates the bows and crossbows that you need for your troops as well. Here is the thing. Each of those particular units has its own fuel source. So, to save yourself trouble and not really think about this as you're playing, this is what I would do. I would have one oxen permanently assigned to the saw pit, so that they can continuously supply your troops with the wood that is required and the planks that is required to create bows and crossbows. And I would also say that's true for the blacksmith, because the blacksmith's going to be creating spears, and I have blacksmith somewhere over here. There you go. And the blacksmith's obviously creating spears and or swords, and for spears they're going to need iron and also planks. So consistently have somebody working on the saw pit, because you are going to need those planks for 2 different kinds or 3 different kinds of weapons. And those are spears, bows and crossbows. Now that's the fuel that you need for your archer troops. For your swords, it's quite simple. You just get your blacksmith to create swords. But in order to actually have swords, obviously, again I've covered this, but iron deposit, smithy, and bloomery, and have them all working at the same time. And then, if you have the smithy, the bloomery, and the iron deposit filled with people and or plenty of iron ore supply, then things will look good. Now let me have a look at my new blacksmith over here. For example, right now I'm going to actually require a lot more swords, so I'm going to focus on creating units with swords right now for my blacksmith. So that's the blacksmith done. And yeah, really, that's really all you need to think about. But just make sure that you have somebody consistently on the saw pit. Make sure that you have enough iron ore. And make sure that you have enough logs. So, essentially, keep on logging, and keep on having somebody in the saw pit, and keep your bloomery, smithy, and mining pit active and supplied, and then you can just switch off your brain and watch as, for example, my number of soldiers grow. And you can see here, like, I now have more militia footmen. As soon as I am able, I will have more of everything, because all of the things are actually being built. Oh, the one thing I haven't really gone through is the tailor's workshop. For the tailor's workshop to work, it requires linen. Make sure that for linen, you have your tannery quite active with somebody in the tannery, and make sure that you are hunting fairly regularly so that you can get the hides, which is then turned into linen. And with all of those things, you should be able to arm your own troops. Thank you so much for watching.